Love these kind of shows. It's kind of like a workshop. We roll up our sleeves if we have them, and we go to work. And we're going to size up September games in college football. Weeks 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's get to it. First, we've got some news on the day. And again, we have left the link to call the show. So I am going through the schedule in September, and we're going to predict every game with one caveat. We'll explain it in just a second. I'm not going to go through these stories per se, but a lot of big news in college football. One would be that Jim Harbaugh will not be suspended for 4 games. The NCAA screwed up. Jim Harbaugh screwed up, but he's off the hook and will not be suspended for 4 games. I'm not going to give any kind of opinion on that right now because it would not be a valid opinion at this point. So need to look into that a little bit more. But regardless of my opinion or anyone else, the NCAA has misstepped one way or the other. Either they got it right the first time, and when they backtracked, they got it wrong, or they got it wrong the first time, and the suspension was not warranted. Jim Harbaugh will be on the sideline for Michigan football for the first 4 games of the season. That murderer's row gauntlet that Michigan will face in the first 4 games of the season. Let's also keep in mind that we've got the Amazon link in the description section of all the videos. So when you shop on Amazon, and we know that you do, please use the link that we provide in the description section. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. I need to put together a list is what we really need to do. John D'Adamo does a fantastic job of highlighting those contributors many times on the ticker down at the bottom of the screen, but we will do a better job, even though we certainly acknowledge, and I hope you know, that we certainly are so thankful for your contributions. We will run some kind of list. Maybe we'll end our videos. We got to do something like that. If I could put together, well, that would be too difficult to do because it would have to be altered every video. We can't keep track of the videos now. My goodness, 15 channels. We can't shoot. My goodness. I can't even get into that at this point. We're backlogged like days. And then we run into football season and it becomes more of an issue because we can't be releasing videos 3 days after we cut them. So we're backlogged already. So we can't do anything until we get our production team in place when our channel's much bigger. And we have the kind of people. I listened to a content creator today who mentioned that they outsource everything, all the editing, all the production, everything. Someday. And as people continue to come in here, welcome to the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you being here on what is here in the Buckeye State a sunny Sunday. And we're only 13 days away from college football. We've got a couple decent matchups, or at least a couple top 10 teams playing on that Saturday, of course. In week 0, USC, San Jose State, and Notre Dame Navy. Our big 24-hour live marathon will kick off at bright and early 5 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday, August 31st. So for many of you, that's the beginning of the college football season. Week 1, since there aren't any really sizable matchups in week 0, week 1 starts on that Thursday night. We've got a Utah-Florida matchup that we are going to be releasing a huge preview on here in the next day or two. I will be releasing week 1 previews here coming up soon. But Utah, Florida is going to kick that off. Then we've got Nebraska, Minnesota on Thursday night as well. And we're going to be live with all of you. So get up, even if you're a late night person, get up with us at 5 a.m. Eastern time on August 31st. We will be here for 24 consecutive hours to usher in the college football season, even though week 0 is technically the start of the season. Week 1 is named week 1 for a reason. Everybody's playing, and we'll be with you live for 24 consecutive hours. And for those of you who were not with us last year and the year before and the year before for the 24 consecutive hours live, yes, that is not a typo of the mouth. I did not misspeak. 24 consecutive hours we will be live. 24 consecutive hours. We, as in the Voice of College Football, not the Voice of College Football simply the voice of college football, but all of us, the voice of college football, will be live in some manner. I'll probably, if I can get 5 hours out of 24 taken care of, I can take care of about 19. I would like to see the games that night: Utah, Florida, Minnesota, and Nebraska. So I want to see those games. I'll get up about 4 a.m. We'll be here at 5. We'll take you through the day. Maybe I'll get a little bit of relief. Matt Zemek last year, he was golden because he took over at 2 a.m. So that was right about the time, post game had run its course, and he took over and finished out the final 3 hours from the West Coast. So that was, I know who I'm going to be calling here in the next couple of days. All right, Amazon link in the description section of all the videos. And again, thank you so much for your contribution. And again, we will do a better job of recognizing all of you. Not that we don't recognize you. We say thank you. We read the super chats. Sometimes I'll flip by some of these large shows. Can't think of any of them. If I try, I'll butcher the names for sure. I've got one in mind of a major show on YouTube. Can't think of the guy's name. His name's Tim, but I can't think of these super chats are just flying by like it's nothing. And I don't know how they acknowledge them, because when I've watched, they don't acknowledge them because there's just too many. They're just talking and they're just raking in like, who knows how much, 20 grand a show. I don't know what the deal is. And they don't even acknowledge them. Of course, we'll always acknowledge them because that is your hard-earned money. And we appreciate you supporting here at the Voice of College Football. So we would like to do a little bit more than that. Discord, 24/7, 365, your opportunity to talk college football with all the people that you talk college football with here, but 24/3, 365. You don't need to wait till I start a live stream. You can talk college football all the time. Go to Patreon, search MarkRogersTV, or go just to patreon.com/MarkRogersTV. Sign up for Patreon and you get my picks. So this is the time that you really lock in, because you get my predictions, my weekly predictions, and I'll have my season predictions here on YouTube. But my weekly predictions, I think we're going to take a bit of a different approach this year, where I'm going to be releasing some predictions right here on the national channel, and other predictions we will hold for our friends on Patreon at the Voice of College Football Community, and for our YouTube members. YouTube members, if you are a member of the channel, if you have a channel membership and you do not have a Discord link, please hit me up at MarkRogersTV@gmail.com. MarkRogersTV@gmail.com. Let me know that you need a Discord link. All right, want to get to the news of the day very briefly. We're not going to dwell on it. Again, Jim Harbaugh will be coaching Michigan football weeks 1 through 4. Stanford Cal to the ACC, shot down 12-3 vote. They need 13 votes, so they need one more vote to push it through. We discussed that at length yesterday. Check out the video. We are going to discuss that even more as August 15th looms. When Florida State will have to, Florida State in particular, all eyes are on Florida State. But for anyone who wants to notify the ACC that they are leaving the conference for the 2024 football season, that has to be done by August 15th. If I had to guess on this one, I'm going to say that Florida State will not be notifying the ACC for 2024. I do not believe that they're prepared to make that move for 2024. They are still ardently working on getting out of the conference. Yes, 2024 may be a bit aggressive. A big commit for the Ohio State Buckeyes today. Wide receiver Jeremiah McClellan, 17th rated wide receiver in the country, 91st rated player according to 247 Sports. Buckeyes get a wide receiver. That's a shock. Ohio State really needing to bolster the wide receiver room. Gets a commitment out of a top 100 player out of St. Louis, Missouri, home of Zeke Elliott. Elias Rudolph, 18th rated edge rusher in the nation, has committed this weekend to Miami out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. Those are the two big commits that I saw here this weekend. All right, let's get to it. Inviting your comments, your questions, of course, in the live chat. Also, your calls here at the Voice of College Football as we take it through the September schedule. So here are the rules, folks. Here we go. We're going to predict every game, which seems like it's cut and dry, right? Maybe not. Here are the rules. So we're going to go through the week 0 schedule, then week 1. And starting with week 1, we are going to have to find at the very least, 3 upsets, if not 4, if not 5. Why do I say that? Because for years, for the last 4 or 5 football seasons, I have tracked upsets, top 25 upsets. So I'm not talking about Miami of Ohio upsetting Toledo as the first place team in the MAC. I'm talking about top 25 upsets. That there are roughly 18 to 23 games in the top 25 most weeks, because of course there could be bye weeks. And then there are also top 25 teams that play one another, but typically about 18 to 23 top 25 games. Out of that menu of games every week, like clockwork, folks. I mean, for me tracking this for 5 seasons, which would be about 75 weeks of college football, there might have been 4 or 5 times that there were not at least 4 upsets in the top 25. And I'm not talking about 1-point spread, 2-point spread, anything under. I don't even consider a field goal to be an upset. A 3-point spread in a college football game, that's to me not an upset. We would have to talk to our guy, Steve Merrill from Wager Talk, to find out. He's got every statistical number you could think of regarding betting ingrained or tracked somewhere. And he would let us know how often a 3-point underdog wins in college football. I would guess 40% of the time. It's really not an upset. So it would have to be a substantial upset, not even a substantial upset, but a marked upset of significance, of some level of significance. Anyway, I'm not counting 1 and 2 point spreads. And we are not going to have the spreads to deal with. We will have the week 1 point spreads if you want to play along and look up the week 1 point spreads. But the caveat to us predicting all the games for September, and we're going to continue on if this proves to be a success and you guys like it, we will do another live stream and go through October, November, and on into the playoffs and the postseason. But there are about 4 or 5 upsets in the top 25 every week, like clockwork. And so about 20 to 25% of the games. So this is a jewel of a nugget for anybody who likes to put a buck or two on any games. Can't tell you which games they're going to be, but I can tell you that if you want to make money on the money line, there are going to be 4 or 5 upsets in college football every week in the top 25. There are obviously more than that overall, but just in the top 25. Okay, we're going to run through the schedule. And we are going to pick all the games. And you're going to help us. And no, these are not going to be my official predictions. Not at all. They are not going to be my official predictions. In the meantime, while you were waiting, subscribe to the Big 12 channel, subscribe to the SEC channel. I shouldn't have to explain why. It'll be quality content. We appreciate it. If you are not a Big 12 fan or an SEC fan, but you enjoy what we do here at the Voice of College Football, consider that it's all connected and you are supporting me. You're supporting what we do here at the Voice of College Football. And if you hate the Big 12 or hate the SEC, you can certainly unsubscribe, but we would appreciate your subscription right now to get us to 1,000, to get us monetized, to get us out into traffic, and for YouTube to take us seriously. Any comments or questions of significance at this point? Let's see. We've got a couple super chats coming in. We thank you so much for that. Daniel Henry is now a YouTube member for 4 months. But it's telling me become a member, join the college. Oh, thank you so much for that. So I don't exactly know how that works, but Daniel is a member. He's been a member for 4 months and is letting everyone know, become a member, join the Voice of College Football. One of the perks that we would love to take advantage of, we tried once, is to do watch parties. Now, we're not going to do watch parties during the season. I'm talking about watching old games and analyzing old games. We tried that once with the Clemson Ohio State 2019 playoff game, and I got hammered by YouTube. Now, I believe that there's a way around it. So we'll try that. But watch parties during the off season, exclusive content per request. My predictions. Steve Merrill from Wager Talk gives us an exclusive pick under the radar selection each week. Have you heard me tell this before? He went 13-1 against the spread last year. Good Lord, that would pay for your Patreon for a lifetime right there. $5 a month. Thank you so much for that, Daniel. We appreciate you. And then Texas Buckeye 1953, smash the like, gang. Yeah, that's one thing that you could certainly do to help us grow and build the channel. YouTube, they track the likes, and we could have a ton of people in here. And if you don't like the video, you know what they assume? You don't like what we're doing. So thank you for that, Texas Buckeye 1953. All right, now let's get to it. So week 0 is going to be pretty dead, but formalities, we'll get through it. Let's do it. And I've got to keep track of everyone's record as we go through the entire season. So here we go. Week 0. And man, I forgot. I'm going to have to track everybody's record. So hang on just a second. Does anyone see any upsets there? Any upsets? Could Navy does anybody out there possibly believe that Navy will defeat Notre Dame? I am not laughing at you. I am just waiting for that prediction out there by anybody. Here we go. Week 0. Yes, Clint. Here we go. Week 0. Okay, anybody out there? We've got Navy Notre Dame in Dublin. So our college football season starts at 2:30 Eastern on NBC on August 26th. In 13 days, we will be watching college football. Yes, the real MVP. Navy did play Notre Dame tough last year. 35-32, 34-32, something like that. I don't know what the spread is on that game. And again, we would have a long, arduous time doing this if we looked up the point spread for all these games, and we would only have partial point spreads. So we're not going to do all these, but we'll bring in Jackson here to go through week 0 for us. Jackson, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. So if everybody understands the rules that don't apply for week 0, week 0 is different because there's only 3, 6, 7 games. We've got to find 4 or 5 upsets every week that are most likely going to be top 25 games. Do you see anything here of significance? Anything possible that could happen that would be surprising in any way?
I don't see USC getting upset. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, USC 1-0. There we go.
USC's gonna win 56-17. That's for
56-17. Okay.
And I'm looking at Jacksonville State UTEP. I mean, UTEP's favored so far. They're like a 1-point favorite.
Yeah, that means nothing. That means it's a pick 'em. So thank you for the point spreads there, Jackson. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Jackson helping us out. Everybody else help us out in the group of 5 in particular.
Yeah, Notre Dame versus Navy. Notre Dame is a 20-point favorite, but I got Notre Dame winning 45-21.
You got scores already. Listen to Jackson here. 45-21 Irish. Okay. Notre Dame 1-0.
Yeah, I got my notes all set.
Okay, let's go through these games. Okay, everybody with us. Any dissenters on Notre Dame? Going once, going twice. Anybody here think in any way Navy can hang with Notre Dame and possibly win that game? Again, yes, it was a nail biter last year that Notre Dame had a huge lead at halftime. Navy came back and came up short, lost by 2. UTEP, Jacksonville State. What do you
That
think,
looks like
Jackson?
that looks like a toss-up, and I got Jacksonville State winning 31-27. I mean, everybody's forgetting that Rich Rod is coaching at Jacksonville State in his second year. And do not be surprised if they are the James Madison of 2023. And what I mean by that is, like last season, James Madison was fantastic,
Sure.
but they couldn't quite make a bowl game because of the rule in the NCAA that says you can't make a bowl game in your first year as an FBS member, transitioning from the FCS. Jacksonville State is in their first year of the Conference USA. It should be pretty easy to compete in that conference since there's basically 9 teams. But
okay, anybody out there have any issue with Jacksonville State winning this first game? Going once, going twice. I love this next matchup because we're going to watch this on prime time on ESPN.
oh man, Kirk and Chris Fowler are going to be happy to go to New Mexico.
Got to put those guys on this game. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But if I'm ESPN, I'm saying, hey, we got to throw these schools and their little fan bases a bone and get out there and call the New Mexico State UMass game.
Oh man, like Jerry Kill. I hope he has a fantastic second year at New Mexico State, especially since it's their, once again, first year in the Conference USA. Massachusetts is an independent still.
Yes.
And from what I'm seeing, New Mexico is an 8-point favorite. I'm thinking they're going to go over the spread a little bit with a 21-10 victory. It's looking like
Jerry Kill's a heck of a coach.
Oh man, he was fantastic at Northern Illinois and Minnesota, man. I mean, he set the stage at Minnesota.
Yeah, had he not had health issues, he probably would still be there.
Oh, for sure, man. But like a game that's really good is Ohio San Diego State. Now, Curtis Rourke, the quarterback for Ohio, he led the MAC in passing yards with 3,256 passing yards, and he led the conference in 25 touchdowns. And had he not been hurt against Ball State last year on November 15th, they would have been able to win the MAC title game against Toledo. And I think him having that ACL injury hurt him a little bit. And San Diego State is a 3-point favorite on that matchup. But I think Curtis Rourke coming back for Ohio, that's going to help him a little bit. And I have that being a, 31-28 victory. And
good game.
Oh yeah. And I have and from what I'm noticing, Tim Aldine, now he's done a magnificent job replacing Frank Solich. I mean, his first year was kind of a disaster, 3-9, but then they turn it around having a 10-win season. They clinched that 10th victory with a bowl victory against Wyoming in the Arizona Bowl of Barstool Sports. I mean, I watched a little bit of that game. You know, I was watching like one of the ESPN games. I believe that was Notre Dame, South Carolina at the time. And I was just watching the Barstool Sports Bowl on my phone as well. So it's just kind of like, got to stay committed. What can I say?
I am pulling up the standings here just because we're going to keep track of all of this. So we've got at least 2 votes for San Diego State, and including yourself now, 3 votes. So anybody for Ohio pulling off a very slight upset?
Me.
Oh, you've got Ohio. I'm sorry, Jackson. I thought you said Aztecs. So you've got Ohio.
I have Ohio winning 31-28.
Ooh. Okay. Anybody else on that one? Ohio and San Diego State. That, I believe, is going to be the best game of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm going to have a great time flipping between ESPN and Fox Sports 1 2 weeks from now.
All right, anyone else? San Diego State, Ohio. I've got to make a call on this one. And because Jackson called in and because we appreciate Jackson here, we're going to give Jackson the edge on this one. So Ohio takes this one to start 1-0.
There we go.
So San Jose State's going to be 0-1, and so is San Diego State out of the Mountain West. Okay. Hawaii and Vandy, of course, 56-10 on the island last year. This time they play in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. And Vandy's going to have a great year due to their non-conference schedule being really easy. All they need is 2 conference wins, and they're good to go. But I'm thinking that's going to be a 38-17 victory over Hawaii. I'm looking at the spread, and Vandy is favored by 18. So if you're placed a bet on Vandy to beat the spread, it just might be a good day for you.
Then we've got this. We're going to go with Vandy unless somebody can come up with some conceivable way why we should even consider Hawaii. So Vandy wins, and then we've got Louisiana Tech hosting FIU.
Ooh, yeah. I got Louisiana Tech for right now winning 31-20. La Tech is a 10.5 favorite. So if anybody's if you want to pick Louisiana Tech to beat the spread, that's up to you. If you want to pick FIU to beat the spread, that's up to you. But right now, for me, I think that's going to be like a bad beat for anybody that goes with FIU plus 10.5.
Okay, Badger and Bournemouth likes Louisiana Tech. So does Alex. We've got a few other votes for La Tech. So we are going to put it in the book for La Tech with the win. And the Mountain West off to an 0-3 start here.
Oh, yeah.
Not a good start for the Mountain West, although they are an underdog in all those games. Well, the San Diego State-Ohio game, do you know what the spread is on that one?
Yeah, Ohio is a 3-point underdog. San Diego State's a 3-point favorite.
Okay. So one slight upset there. Very good. So we got FIU with a loss, Louisiana Tech in a conference game right out of the gate in Conference USA. All right.
Yeah, we got not one but 2 conference games in the Conference USA for week 0. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. Okay, so let me make sure I've got everything we've got here. We'll keep moving along. And you can start diving into week 2, Jackson, while I make sure I keep track of all this.
Oh, so we got Wake Forest Elon, not the University of Elon Musk, but the University of Elon. That's going to be on the ACC network. The spread is not lined up on it yet, but I'm sure they'll line something up eventually. We're looking at Central Florida, Kent State. That's going to be the first Big 12 game, the first game of the Big 12 era for Central Florida. That's going to be fun. It's on Fox Sports 1. Central Florida is a 34.5 favorite. Rhode Island, Georgia State is Rhode Island, Georgia State, and that's on ESPN Plus. Western Michigan and St. Francis. That's on ESPN Plus. We don't have a line set for that.
Oh my
For some of
goodness, I
these
got way too much to keep track of here. Okay. What do we say? Wake wins. Kent UCF. You give the Golden Flashes any chance there?
No. That's a win for the Golden Knights right there.
There we go. We've got Georgia State and Rhode Island. My daughter's alma mater going on the road to take on Georgia State. Okay.
Oh, man. And St. Francis. Yeah. St. Francis. Oh, man.
Okay. This is going to be more difficult than I thought. Okay, Western Michigan, they get a win. Who do you like in the MAC this year? Anybody in particular?
Not anybody so far. I mean, I like Toledo and Ohio, but that's pretty much it so far. Eastern Michigan, I like them a little bit. But I'm looking at
Toledo. A lot of people like Toledo.
Oh yeah. I've been surprised that Jason Candle hasn't gotten a bigger job, but he'll get one eventually. But there is one game that's really catching my eye that's not the two big games on that list. That's North Carolina State going to Connecticut on CBS Sports Network.
Me too.
Yep. NC State's a 15-point favorite.
Anybody like UConn? Could we have an upset there? Because we got to start finding upsets because this is week 1 now. Got to find some upsets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I mean, the possible upset we could see is like Florida, Utah, if Cam Rising isn't available to play due to that ACL injury suffered from the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, so what type of point spread does Vegas have on that game?
Utah is a 7-point favorite on that game.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So Vegas is a little bit high on Utah. But I do remember last year where Florida beat Utah, everybody kind of put the cart in before the horse. Everybody was like, yay, Florida. But then they went down against Kentucky. So I'm thinking everybody's a little more aware this time around.
Okay. Well, I guess we stay with NC State for right now. But if we go back, if we get done with this week and we don't have any upsets, we're going to have to find some. So we'll stay with NC State for right now. And man, Utah's got that difficult quarterback situation with Cam Rising at 50-50 and the two backups, inexperienced Barnes and Rose. And we hear from our Utah guy that Brandon Rose took a hellacious shot. He might have a rib injury. He took a shot during practice.
Oh, yeah.
So they might be down to their third stringer, the Utes.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to hurt quite a lot. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Connecticut beats the spread against NC State.
Okay. I'm not concerned with the spread tonight here, Jackson. We're knocking out wins here. All right.
Outright upsets for week 1.
Utah and Florida. We've got a vote for Utah. Anybody else?
Looks like a toss-up to me for right now.
All right. We're not going to make any progress on that right now. And we'll hold that one. So Missouri's going to win. Okay, Missouri against South Dakota. And then we've got Tulsa and Arkansas Pine Bluff. I would think Tulsa wins that game. So we've got an American Conference win there. If I can find my American Conference list here, we've got Tulsa with a win. And then we've got UAB with a win.
Yep, in their first game as an AAC member.
That's right. Good call there. Arizona State starting their final season in the PAC Conference. They better get a win there. Kenny Dillingham. And we're on to Friday, and we're holding on this Utah-Florida game. Okay. Eastern Michigan. They should get a win. We're not going to think too hard on some of these games. All right. Can Central Michigan upset Michigan State?
It's a very high possibility because, like, at least once since 2006, we always see a MAC team upsetting a Big Ten team.
That's right. That's right. What do you guys think? Does Michigan State go down in week 1 at home? I think that's a pretty strong possibility. You guys know that I don't necessarily major on the group of 5, so I'll defer to others. We'll see what we got forecasted for Central Michigan here. What else do we got there? Do you think Miami of Ohio, Jackson, has a chance?
Not a chance. I don't see Miami, Ohio having a shot.
Yeah, I really don't think so either.
But that Aflac kickoff below that game looks pretty good. Louisville, Georgia Tech.
Ooh, yeah. So the ACC with a conference game out of the gate. Who do we got? Georgia Tech, Louisville.
Yeah. Right now I have Louisville winning that.
Yeah.
But my final score prediction, I'll release that in like the coming week or so.
Yeah, I like Louisville too. I'm going to put that down. Anna likes Louisville. So does Alex. We'll put Louisville down with a win.
Badger and Bournemouth fan likes Georgia Tech.
Sorry, Badger. We are going to override you there. Louisville gets a conference win out of the gate.
And some guy named Snake Spence has Georgia Tech.
Okay. Well, again, we're going to override that. All right. Louisville wins. We're taking Louisville. Do you know what the spread is on that game?
Louisville is a 7.5 favorite in the Aflac kickoff.
7.5. I might take the points.
Yeah.
Kansas better win their opener there. They should be in good shape. Stanford at Hawaii.
That's a possibility. Hawaii upsetting Stanford, especially the fact that Hawaii's at home and we don't know really what to make of Stanford with Troy Taylor right now.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's keep
take
that
a
one
gamble.
under consideration.
I'll take a gamble with Hawaii.
You're going to gamble with Hawaii. That kicks off at 11 Eastern, CBS Sportsnet. We'll be watching that one late night. Nice on Friday night. Love it. Okay, then we get to Saturday. Does Utah State possibly go to Iowa and pull off an upset?
Not quite, but if Iowa's offense is the same as last year's, then they got a shot.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm just kidding. For anyone that wants to check out Corey Bratta, asked Brian Ferentz a couple of questions during Iowa's Media Day the other day. He's got it over on his channel. It's quite interesting to hear. Corey wanted me to listen to that, and I thought they were 2 really good questions out of Corey. Ball State, Kentucky. I can't see Kentucky losing this.
No.
We'll give them a win. Liberty, Bowling Green. Gotta think Liberty should win that game.
Oh, totally.
Okay. Jamie Chadwell taking over there. Michigan wins, of course. Purdue hosting Fresno State.
I think Fresno gets it done.
Yeah, I kind of think that as well. Let's go with Fresno with a win there over Purdue. So the Big Ten loses to a G5. We've got SMU and Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs coming off a win in week 0. What do you think? Rhett Lashley and the boys get it done?
Oh, totally. They may not have Tanner Mordecai, but they can definitely get it done against La Tech.
Okay, where's my American Conference list? I don't see it here. Okay, SMU goes to 1-0. Then we've got Virginia at Tennessee. I don't think it's going to be a good game, but I do think it's, I do have some interest there. Of course, it being an ACC SEC game, but Tennessee better win that one.
Oh, man. Tennessee will definitely win that one. The big noon kickoff, Colorado TCU. That looks pretty fun. I'll be honest, I wish game day had gone to that game instead of North Carolina, South Carolina, but that's all right because bid noon kickoff is at that game. So
Do you have any
that's pretty
idea
cool.
what the spread is on that game?
Oh, TCU, I'm looking at how much they're favored by. They're 20, let me see. They're 20.5 favorite.
Oh, okay.
It's a little too high, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a bit strong. Okay. TCU wins, right? Well, what do you think,
Right.
everyone? I'm going TCU on this one.
Ooh, Northern Illinois, Boston College. Depending on Boston College's offense.
Irvin, thank you
Yeah.
so much for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate that. Irvin, thank you so much for that, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, this could be an upset right here. Boston College hosting Northern Illinois.
Yeah, BC's a 9.5 favorite. So I see BC winning that one, but it's going to be closer than the experts have it.
Okay, BC in a tight one. Okay, I'm going to go along with that. And IU falls to 0-1. Air Force gets a win. We've got Jacksonville State. They should get another win there. They go to 2-0. Ole Miss, they get their season started with a win. Iowa State. Now they lost to Northern Iowa. No, they didn't lose to Northern Iowa. Who did they lose to a couple years ago? Anyway, they lost to somebody, couple group of 5 games there early in Matt Campbell's career. But I would hope Iowa State should win that game.
Yeah,
Akron
Iowa
at
State,
Temple.
Northern Iowa is looking like a tight one. It wouldn't surprise me if this game was another one of those FCS versus over FBS upsets. I hope it doesn't happen, but at the same time, that could happen.
All right. We'll give the win to Temple against Akron. Ohio should win over Long Island University. So the Bobcats go to 2-0. Oregon gets a win. Auburn gets a win.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that I remember when Iowa State went up against Northern Iowa, they lost 25-20 2016, and they dodged a bullet in 2019 with a 3 overtime victory over Northern Iowa. So Ohio State, Indiana. I'm excited to see Bloomington, Indiana on CBS, honestly. But unfortunately, that's looking like Ohio State's going to win that one, but they're 27.5 favorite. Question is, will they get over the spread? Will they not? That's question there.
Yep. Not too concerned about that one. Although Indiana in 2017 hosted them on a Thursday night to start the season and gave them a run for about 3 quarters. Maryland wins. Wisconsin, Buffalo. Any concerns there?
Nope.
Okay. Buffalo goes down at Wisconsin. We've got Western Kentucky and South Florida.
Oh, man. Austin Reed at Western Kentucky. He was fantastic last year. Dude led the nation in passing yards for the season.
All right, everyone. We're combing through week 1 and we're about halfway through Saturday and we don't have any upsets yet. We're going to have to find some.
I thought
All right.
Fresno was an upset over Purdue.
Really? Purdue's
Well,
not going to be
yeah.
a top 25. Top 25 upsets.
Oh, yeah.
4 or
Yeah, we
5,
don't have one
3 to
yet.
5, top 25 upsets.
Boise State, Washington. I mean, Washington is a 14.5 favorite. They're at home, but this is not the Boise State of old. Maybe Boise State still got some magic. You never know.
All right, folks, I'm going to check the chat to see if anyone has any week 1 upsets, top 25 upsets. Anybody with an upset. Cincinnati? Who are they playing? Oh, Eastern Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not one. We've got who's Notre Dame playing? Oh, is that their Tennessee State game? Okay,
yeah.
obviously that's not the one. All right, a few people like South Florida against Western Kentucky. I went the other way on that one.
Oh, we'll find the top. We'll find the top 25 upset. One or the
Roberta
other.
letting us know Oklahoma. We skipped the Oklahoma Arkansas State game. Not too concerned there. OU's got to win that game. Arkansas State loses their first one. Let me find my Sun Belt list. This is what it's going to be, Jackson. We're going to get to the final game here in week 1, and then we're going to have to backtrack for some upsets.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got. I guess we're going to stay with Washington because I really don't see that either, like you.
Yeah.
Notre Dame wins. Pitt wins. Cincinnati wins. Get their Big 12 era started. Texas hosting Rice. Do we give Rice any prayer?
No.
How good is Rice going to be this year?
In their first year in the AAC, not too good.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they made a bowl game last year, but that was because of that APR record they had. They did very well to the point where they could go to a bowl game.
App
but
State.
They lost.
We give them a win. And then
if it was App State going up against a top 25 Power 5 team, I could definitely give the nod to App State. But we're talking about an FBS versus FCS game for right now.
Mississippi State. Cal going to North Texas.
Oh, Cal's a 7.5 favorite.
I think we're gonna have to spring some upsets here. I'm giving Cal a loss there. Syracuse wins. UNLV wins against Bryant, I guess.
Maybe.
Georgia, I think they're safe. I don't know. Do we want to argue that one for about 30 minutes? This Georgia UT Martin game?
Oh, man.
Charlotte. We'll trust Charlotte. FAU, we'll trust them against the FCS teams. Although there's going to be a couple FCS teams that win these games. So Georgia Southern. We've got James Madison looking to go to a bowl game. Marshall, they should win.
Yeah. Florida International Maine looks to be a toss-up somewhat.
Okay. Well, why don't we throw out another loss for FIU then? USC wins. New Mexico at Texas A&M.
Win for A&M. Army and Louisiana Monroe. That looks like a win for Army.
We'll give Army a win as a independent. ULM takes the L. Vandy gets a win. They're 2-0, marching toward bowl eligibility already. Washington State at Colorado State.
Cam Ward's going to torch that Colorado State defense, I'm afraid.
Most likely. Okay. Can go with that. Wazoo starts 1-0. Baylor wins.
Yeah.
Houston hosting Texas, San Antonio. There we go.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome game. I mean, UTSA's in their first game in the era of the AAC. Houston's in their first game in their era of the Big 12. I mean, last year was a fantastic game. Houston dodged a bullet in double overtime. This year, I don't think UTSA is going to let Houston sneak past them. I mean, they will get it done. I mean, it looks like a victory for Frank Harris and Jeff Traylor.
How about, so we've got a Houston vote. We've got a UTSA vote. We've got another UTSA vote, Buckeye Mike and Texas Buckeye. So the Buckeye contingent along with Clint and Ben. I'm going UTSA.
Same here, UTSA.
Okay, we'll take them. Rough start for Houston in the Big 12. All right, who else? I like that game. That should be a good one. Who's showing that?
Okay.
FS1. Okay. Kansas State wins. Oklahoma State wins. Memphis wins.
Southern Miss win. Troy's going to continue their second longest active winning streak in all of college football.
Troy. Okay.
Yeah, because Troy ended the season after that Hail Mary loss to Appalachian State. They were like, okay, we're not losing another game again. So I mean, they go from 1-2 to 12-2. They win that Sun Belt title, and then they win their bowl game against UTSA. And right now they stand at second with 11 straight wins. So they win this game. They're going to go into Kansas State with 12 straight wins.
Sweet. Love it.
Totally. I'll tell you what, though. Maybe Troy, Kansas State could be the upset for week 2.
Yes. Okay, we'll get there. Troy wins, Southern Miss wins, Bama wins. How about this one? Toledo goes to Illinois.
Ooh, that game looks like a toss-up. I mean, I remember I went on here a few weeks back when we talked about the Big Ten Media Days, and I talked about Illinois' non-conference schedule being really scary because they got Toledo, Kansas, then they got FAU after they go up against Penn State on big noon kickoff. It's a terrifying non-conference schedule.
Okay, people need to understand what we're doing here is, do I believe Illinois is a better team than Toledo? Yes. Do I believe they're more talented? Are they at home? All that. But we have to find upsets, and that's not even a top 25 upset.
Yeah.
Let's pull the trigger on that one. Toledo goes to Illinois and pulls off the upset.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a toss-up for me. I'm kind of like, I don't know who I'm having.
I don't even think it's a toss-up. I think Illinois is a clear favorite for me, but clear favorites lose every week.
For sure.
So I like South Carolina in this game.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. North Carolina is a 2.5 favorite, and they're obviously going to be in the top 25. Do we count South Carolina beating North Carolina as an upset or no?
Well, I think we can technically we can add that to our list. Yes. So South Carolina wins. There's one upset, top 25 upset. Buckeye Mike is going to jump on board, and so is Alex. Guys, how you doing?
Good.
What's going on, Buckeye Mike?
Fuck, dude. Not much.
Alex, what's going on, man? Hello, Alex.
Hey.
Okay, we can't
What do I
really
like?
hear you.
Sorry.
Sorry, Alex. Find a good spot.
No.
Call us back. All right. All right. So South Carolina wins, slight upset there. So we've got one top 25 upset. West Virginia at Happy Valley. Does anybody see that possibility?
There's a lot of questions on Penn State. I could see the possibility, but I don't have enough faith in West Virginia.
It would not shock me, but I do believe Penn State's going to win this game.
Yep.
All right.
That's looking like a 38-14 victory for Penn State.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe a little closer, but I could see that. Texas Tech at Wyoming. Well, Texas Tech is primed for a big year. They better not lose that game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they look like they're going to be in the top 25. Craig Bowl and Wyoming, they're pretty fantastic, but I don't know if they can bring enough juice for an upset against
Wyoming
Texas
looks
Tech.
fantastic, Jackson. Is that a big prediction for this season?
Well, you never know with the Mountain West, but I'm kind of waiting and seeing with Wyoming.
Okay.
Virginia Tech, Old Dominion.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. I'm gonna go ODU on that one because I just don't have a lot of faith in Virginia
Well, yeah,
Tech.
they've won that game at least once.
Before.
They won that game 2 years ago or last year? They won that game, and they were only 3-9.
Yeah, Virginia Tech has horrible luck facing these smaller schools,
especially against Old
maybe
Dominion.
they're just horrible.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's a 14.5 favorite. I think that's way too high.
I think Virginia Tech's winning this game, but I would not be surprised in any way if it doesn't go that way.
Tulane's in the top 25 likely this season. So
yes,
maybe we could see a South Alabama upset over Tulane.
Do they still have
Alabama's pretty good. South Alabama got a lot of votes in the preseason top 25 in the coaches poll.
Oh, yeah. I know in the preseason I picked Tulane, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the Bama boys for an upset.
Yeah. Okay. So we got two upsets now. We go South Alabama. Gonna knock off Tulane. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that chance.
And then we've got New Mexico State, Western Illinois. We'll just default to New Mexico State, getting a win there. UTEP incarnate word. Who knows? Who cares? But we'll just pencil that in for UTEP and keep going here. We've got Arizona, Northern Arizona. Jed Fish better win that game.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I got a feeling he's going to have a pretty good year in his third year at Arizona. And Jalen Delore is going to have a great year. I mean, they're not going to be competing or anything, but they will have a say somewhat in who wins, who doesn't win the Pac-12 in their final year.
And here's this Sam Houston team playing its first FBS game. Any shot there?
Oh, man. Sam Houston and BYU. No, that's don't see an upset there. Idaho State, San Diego State, no upset there.
I like this next game, though. I like this UCLA Coastal Carolina game.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If Coastal Carolina had Jamie Chadwell back as head coach, I would give Coastal Carolina a shot at an upset over UCLA.
Yeah.
But the fact that their new head coach has historically been a disaster with some of the offenses in
right
the past
there with you.
year, I'm just like, I just feel like they're going to drop down a little bit.
Okay. UCLA gets the win. Coastal takes an L at the Rose Bowl. San Diego State gets that win. Then we move on to Sunday. This is beautiful on Sunday. We've got a full day of college football. Now, we're going to hope for some good games because you can only watch one game at a time because you don't have any other options. But still, this is the first time this has happened where on that Sunday before Labor Day, we get a noon game, a 3:30 and a 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
Northwestern and Rutgers. I like the Scarlet Knights in this one, boys. What do you think?
Same. No way Northwestern's going to win this game.
Yeah, I just think that they're in disarray and it's going to be difficult. And Rutgers actually has a pretty good defense. I see Rutgers winning a rock fight. Oregon State going to San Jose State.
That's going to be a win for Oregon State.
And San Jose State drops to 0-2. Rough start for the Spartans there. They've got to play USC and Oregon State.
Oof. Did they do something really bad to deserve all this punishment?
That's a rough start. That's a rough go by the scheduler there. And then, of course, we've got this Titanic matchup on Sunday night, LSU, Florida State in Orlando.
Yeah, LSU, Florida State. That's going to be a great one. Unfortunately, right now, I got LSU winning, but it says that they're 2.5 favorites. So I guess if Florida State won, that's an upset, but that's really just a toss-up.
Yeah, to me, this is a toss-up, but I do slightly favor LSU myself.
Yeah. They're thinking about that missed extra point last year.
You got anything on this, Mike? Did Mike leave us? I guess so.
Yeah.
Mike, you left us there. How you doing?
Yeah, one incident. I'm good. Yeah. So on Florida State LSU specifically, I gotta go with the Seminoles.
You're going Seminoles. Chat, got to chime in on this one. We need the chat on this one. We got Pumpernickel says LSU. Tyrone, LSU. Easy. Big Bumbo 22 goes Knowles. Anybody else on the big one on Sunday night? LSU in Orlando against Florida State. All right, I'm going LSU with a win there. I don't know how I'm going to select it when the time comes, but for right now, Clemson at Duke.
I'll be honest. If Clemson didn't hire Garrett Riley be the OC, and if they still had the same OCs they had last year, maybe we could put Duke in for an upset. But thing is, Duke's going to be dealing with that new offensive system led by Garrett Riley at OC, and that's going to be a scary day for Duke.
Yeah, I would think so. I really like Clemson's defense and very interested to see if Garrett Riley can pump some life into that Clemson offense that's been pretty bad the last 2 years by their standards, and see if Cade Klubnik can show up and lead this team to a college football playoff appearance. So the real MVP likes Duke winning. Okay, can't pull the trigger on that one. So our week 1 upsets are what? South Alabama beats Tulane and South Carolina over North Carolina, right?
Right.
I gotta say, we need at least one more. My tracking says that we get at least 3 to 5 per week. And those are 2 pretty minimal ones, although Tulane's a pretty heavy favorite, right? What about 9 or 10 points?
Yeah. Tulane's an 8-point favorite.
All right, folks, in the chat, we need one other upset. One other upset in week 1. And Ben says Duke's our upset. The real says go with Duke. I think they just don't like Clemson. And if anybody's just joining us now and has never heard me say this, I've tracked this for about 5 years, and you can count on about 3 to 5 upsets in the top 25 every week. So we've got to find them, and they got to be top 25 upsets. Not that we can't pick other upsets, of course, but we've got to find top 25 upsets.
Well, call me crazy, but I really think ECU could beat Michigan. I mean, they did take NC State to the brink last year.
Who took NC State to the brink?
ECU.
Oh, yes, they did. And that was a week 1. That was a game that they should have won.
Yeah, NC State got lucky in that one. Had ECU not missed the extra point, would have been a victory for ECU in overtime.
One more upset.
Well, I mean,
where's this Duke game against Clemson? Are they playing in Atlanta? Or are they playing in?
No,
usually.
No, it's going to be at Duke this year.
Okay, we've got. Is this our buddy Jeffrey?
No,
no sports talk.
No, right. Jeffrey's only taught sports.
Okay. We've got San Jose State over Oregon State. Okay. Do you guys like Duke? Should we give Duke some love in week 1?
I don't know.
I'm afraid not.
Okay. We're staying with our panel here, and I don't see it. It would be fun. It would be great. I would love to see. I've got nothing against Clemson, but I would just love to see that game. So our other upset is going to be Anna says West Virginia over Penn State.
I just think there's too many questions with West Virginia. I mean, I know Drew Allar being the new starting QB for Penn State may have Penn State struggle a little bit or be slow out the box, but I just think Penn State.
You know what game we didn't make a decision on? Florida and Utah.
Oh, Utah.
Yeah, that's a toss-up.
Is that our upset? Florida's a touchdown underdog.
I'll be honest, the quarterback situation at Utah, if we don't see what's up with Cam Rising, he's not able to play, I could pencil that as a Florida upset, honestly.
Bingo. I'll take it. There's our other upset. So our upsets for week 1, Florida over Utah, South Alabama over Tulane, and South Carolina over North Carolina are 3 top 25 upsets. Okay. All right. Alex is hanging out. We'll bring in Alex. Alex, what's going on tonight?
So I'm going to.
Alex, what's going on?
Hello. What's going on? I'm going to make it all complicated for everybody. I think, one, absolutely, Clemson is a no-show. They're not a real team. So I'm just speaking from Alex Martin, not from the real world. So the Clemson blows, according to this guy, absolutely blows. I don't just dislike them.
What does that mean? What does that mean they blow?
That's Alex Land.
We're going to go 4-8?
That's Alex Land. Sure. Okay, why not? I think they're just a really bad
fairy tale fantasy land. It means nothing.
Fairy tale Alex Martin land. Yeah. I think Clemson blows, so they're gonna absolutely lose, even if Duke isn't all that great. I think Northwestern. I think they have something to prove, and I think they're gonna. That's my take. And then I think Florida State. I don't think LSU is much of anything, so I think Florida State's gonna come in and just spank them. That's my feeling. I think Florida State wants to prove a lot.
I wouldn't say LSU. I wouldn't say LSU is nothing. I mean, they just had a first-year head coach and had 10 wins last year.
I mean, like LSU.
LSU.
Well, that's not a
nice season. They're going to have a really good season.
This is Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is a veteran coach. And
I
yes,
know
it's a
he's
first year with his
veteran
team.
coach. That was his first year with LSU. There's still the first year thing. I mean,
We'll call Alex Lance. We'll call it Alex
They still
Lance.
went to the
LSU, according
SEC
to me,
championship game.
stinks.
yeah.
I think wants to
Ben
provide-
is telling
this
us
just my
here,
take.
Mark, remember last year Clemson came out sluggish and slow to play versus Georgia Tech last year, and they won the game 41-10. So yes, they came out sluggish and they rolled by 31 points. So they are playing a better team this year, Duke, and they are playing on the
I don't pull
road.
punches, you know that.
All right.
Overrated to me. Okay, go ahead. Let's move forward. Go ahead.
Week
I'm a listener in the
2.
background.
Week 2. We have made our selections for week 1. We're going to move on to week 2.
Ooh,
And also want to remind everyone that we've got our Penn State live show coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern time and our Trojan Conquest live at 9 Eastern. All right, let's not waste time on the bad games. Louisville wins, Indiana wins, Illinois and Kansas. That's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one.
And we've got Illinois losing in week 1. Yikes.
Yeah, Kansas is going to
Illinois takes it.
Man, I don't know.
Jayhawks.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to think Kansas is going to win that game.
You like Bielema, Alex?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I like him too, but I'm favoring Kansas in that game. And I got to think that's do we have a spread on that game, Jackson? Got to think Kansas is going to be a 3, 4, 5 point favorite, something like that.
Unfortunately, the spreads aren't set for weeks 2 through 5 yet, but they'll get set up eventually.
And I got to think Kansas is going to be, unless something crazy happens in week 1 to change Vegas's mind, that Kansas is going to be a 3 or 4 or 5 point favorite, something like that. Which basically means it's a somewhat of a toss up. All right. That's on a Friday night. I love that game. We've got Kansas and Illinois to enjoy on ESPN2 on a Friday night. Then Saturday, Fresno State gets a win. Vandy at Wake. Wake won that matchup last season, but of course, Sam Hartman was in the lineup.
Vanderbilt.
Vandy's going to win that one.
What do we got? Vandy?
Awesome. Vandy.
Oh, yeah.
They're going 3-0. Vandy's going to be 3-0. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That non-conference schedule is a cinch.
Okay. Then we've got Army wins. We've got Nebraska at Colorado. Fox, noon.
The two coaches who have so much to prove.
Hey, Matt Rule is going to be awesome in the future at Nebraska. I mean,
Prime versus Matt.
Yeah, Prime time.
Rule's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking
Rule's
at.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm looking. It turns out there is a spread for that game. Nebraska's a 9.5 favorite.
Ooh.
That's too high. I'm going Colorado on that game.
Yeah, that's too high in terms of points. I agree. But in terms of a winner of the game, I just have to think Nebraska's going to win that game.
Oh, yeah.
I have to see that Colorado's better.
Well, when we see Baylor, Utah.
We didn't call the Nebraska Minnesota game. I don't know why.
Minnesota.
Yeah, that's going to be a tight victory for Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota wins. I think they're a touchdown favorite.
Yep.
Okay, Georgia wins.
Ohio State wins.
Georgia wins. Ohio State wins. Penn State wins.
Virginia Tech, Purdue's a toss-up.
It's taking me a while to keep track of all this stuff.
I would honestly go with Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech at home against Purdue. Mike's going Tech.
I'm going Road Dogs, Purdue, man. Utah, Baylor. I'm looking at that game. if Utah beats Florida, pin me down for a Baylor Bare Necessities upset.
Okay. Well, so we're going to go Virginia Tech at home. So Purdue's going to go 0-2. All right. And
Yeah,
now
I think
we've got okay, yeah, Utah at Baylor. You're going to go with Baylor with an upset, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
Utah's
For
dealing
me-
with some hot weather in Texas.
Oh boy, Utah's 0-2.
Yeah, but they'll
No,
bounce back
Utah
up.
takes that.
Everybody, I'm thinking, well, depending on that quarterback situation, I mean, everybody will just throw the baby out with the bathwater on Utah, but then they'll bounce back up, just like they did last season, like they did in 2021.
Yes, 2021, good call right there. They did get off to a rough start at 1-3 or 2-3, and then they ran
1-2, 1-2. They
and
lost.
then
Yeah,
ran
their
it from
winning
there.
streak. Yeah, their winning streak against BYU ended, and they lost in overtime to San Diego State. And then
Yep.
Charlie Brewer bails out, which honestly was the best thing to happen to Utah, because then Cam Rising takes over to town at Utah, and he leads them to a Pac-12 title.
Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Notre Dame, I'm afraid.
I've got to go with Notre Dame in that one.
personally, I think Utah comes out of the first 2 weeks 1-1. It just depends on what happens with Florida, because if they lose to Florida, they have to beat Baylor. I think they can beat Baylor. If they beat Florida, they probably are coming in on a high and lose to Baylor. So
This is a possible upset here, not a top 25 upset, but James Madison in Virginia. I don't even know if it would be an upset.
James Madison's going to win that game. Kirk Cincinnati's going to lead them to a top-notch victory.
Virginia.
JMU all the way.
All right. James Madison wins. All right. They go to
Well,
2-0.
Well, Mark, you said you're looking for top 25 upsets for week 2, right?
Yes. We don't
So
have
you're
any
going to
yet.
love this.
I don't believe.
You're really going to love this one. Troy continuing their second longest active winning streak in all of college football as they upset Kansas State.
We'll take it. Troy
Yeah.
defeats Kansas State. Kansas State, great program. Chris Kleiman, have all the respect in the world for him, but that kind of continues a recent, 10 or 15-year tradition of K-State tripping up against somebody like this. So Troy goes to 2-0. K-State falls to 1-1. Georgia Tech wins. Then we've got Central Michigan wins. Bowling Green wins. Clemson coming off. Wait, what call did I make on this? Where are we? Clemson.
You had Duke winning over Clemson.
And did I really? No, I didn't. Clemson wins. All right. So anyway, Central Michigan, Bowling Green. Got to mark these down. Too many games, too many teams. Central Michigan. I don't remember what Bowling Green did in week 1. Shoot. I think they lost to somebody. My records may be off when we total all this up. Clemson wins. All right. Georgia Tech got them. Kentucky wins. What are they? 2-0. All right. BYU wins. Iowa State.
Ooh, that's going to be
Iowa.
quite a gamble for both Iowa State. But for right now, I have that as a low-scoring 17-14 victory for Iowa.
Cyclones.
Really? I really can't
No
pull
way.
the trigger on Iowa State winning this game. Iowa's just, I know that they lost this matchup last year, but they're just better.
Yeah, that game's looking like a toss-up.
Iowa's just a better football team. Okay, Texas A&M at Miami.
The U is going to win that one.
Really?
Yeah, because Texas A&M just can't quite get it done on the road. They can win big games on the road at home, but they can't win big games on the road. And this is one of them.
All right, Texas Buckeye says Miami. Anybody else on Miami and Texas A&M? I just think Texas A&M is a significantly better football team.
Well, considering I have the Red Hawks beating the Hurricanes in week 1, Miami needs to win this game.
Who did we have Texas A&M against in week 1? They must have won it, whatever it was.
New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, I had New Mexico.
Yeah, there they are. Okay. What's that, Mike?
So for your week 1s, I had New Mexico over A&M, and I had Miami, Ohio over Miami, Florida.
Yes, I saw that. All right. I'm going to have to override everyone. Texas A&M beats Miami. Bizzer, thank you so much for the super chat. Buckeyes bout it. Y'all ain't ready. Oh, thank you for that, Bizzer. Appreciate that. All right. Michigan wins. Michigan State better win that game, or they're not going to win any.
UTEP.
UTEP wins. Okay.
Yep. Northwestern's a disaster.
All right. Are they going to lose all of them?
No, they'll win their FCS game against Howard. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Michigan wins. Michigan State. And
UNLV wins. Sorry.
I don't think we ever made a call on the Michigan State opening games, but I'll just call it a win against Central Michigan. Tulane hosting Ole Miss, coming off a loss against South Alabama.
I could see Tulane upsetting Ole Miss.
I sure
Absolutely.
could. All right, we like Tulane. What do you think, Mike?
Yep, Tulane.
Oh, Tulane. A sweep. All
Totally.
right. Lane Kiffin falls to 1-1. Okay, Syracuse. That is not a give me against Western Michigan at all.
Row the boat.
Row the boat. Oh, row the boat. Gotcha. Yes. Are we
I
going
don't
to
think
take?
we're on Minnesota yet.
No, but he's going back to the Western Michigan days. There, we're going Western Michigan to go 2-0 over Syracuse. Okay, Miami of Ohio, UMass. I have no idea. I'm guessing Miami of Ohio should win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, UMass is 0 and a zillion. Okay, I'm not even going to keep track of their record. Navy wins. UTSA wins.
NIU wins.
My problem is finding all these teams I've written down. 133 teams. NIU wins. Okay. Then we've got Toledo. They should win, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Arkansas should
wins. Who did they play in week 1? Whoever it was a win. Okay. Marshall at East Carolina.
Go Herd.
It's an interesting little matchup.
Yeah.
I'm going
Marshall.
East Carolina on that one.
You guys are probably right on Kent State, Arkansas, but I have Golden Flash bias, so go Kent State.
Who are we going with there on the East Carolina Marshall game?
Sounds like
I'm
Marshall.
I'm going ECU.
Oh, okay. ECU and Marshall. I don't know where they are. Marsha. I guess they go to 1-1.
Marshall.
San Jose State finally gets a win.
Yep.
And Wyoming, I got to think that they're going to beat Portland State, although that's certainly possible that they would lose. Okay, Austin P, Tennessee. All right, Tennessee. Where's our next good game? Washington
Appalachian
wins.
State, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I got Appalachian State pulling off the upset.
Yep.
They're scary
Yes.
against Power 5 teams.
I do think Tulsa could beat Washington, but if they do, it'd be close.
And we like App State.
Yep.
App State.
And Mike's throwing out some wild ones. He's got Tulsa. Is anybody showing that game? The Pac-12 network. Okay. Nobody's going to see it.
Tulsa
I might actually second that.
over. Yeah. I don't think Tulsa has any magic against Washington. That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Oh, okay.
Alex will have to mute you because somebody we're going to have to mute. All right. Okay. So where are we? Liberty, New Mexico State. I got to think Liberty's a winner there.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Duke winning, right?
Yep.
Right.
And then we've got SMU at Oklahoma. Is that a possible upset?
No.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Ooh.
Anybody in the chat like SMU? Yes, Big Bumbo likes SMU. Maybe these people are just like throwing this out, just throwing out wild cards. Have we found any upsets on this week? Tulane and Ole Miss, do we really think that would be an upset?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Ole
think
Miss
Ole Miss is going to be a more than a field goal favorite in that game.
Oh, obviously. They'll be more than a touchdown favorite.
Okay.
Probably about 10 to 13.
We know Kansas State's likely be a double-digit favorite against Troy. So
okay,
Troy
all right, we've got two upsets. All right, SMU over Oklahoma.
Nope.
Jackson says no.
Yes.
Mike says yes. Ram says they've got a small chance. Heck yeah, they've got a small chance. Mike says all day Texas Buckeye. Let's pull the trigger on this one. SMU beats Oklahoma. Bam. All right. We need some upsets. All right. Duquesne, West Virginia. They better win this game. They're not going to maybe win too many. UAB, Georgia Southern. I got to think UAB is going to win that game. I'm going to be guessing on some of these records because it's going to take me forever to find these teams, and we got to keep this thing moving. I don't know. UAB. I don't know where I put them. There they are, 2-0. Okay. FAU, Ohio. Jackson, you really like Ohio, don't you?
I do, but not in this game yet.
Oh, they're going to lose to FAU?
Yeah, Tom Herman's got that underdog magic.
All right. FAU gets a win. Louisiana, Old Dominion.
Louisiana
gets a win. They go to this is week 3, isn't it? Or is it week 2 still?
Week 2.
All right. Buffalo, let's give them a win out of the MAC. And,
hey, we got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh on the CW.
Oh, yeah. The CW gets into the act here. Nice. There it is. Love it. CW. I like this little matchup here. Cincinnati, Pitt. Who do we like?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they get that done, don't they? Yep. And
I wish Luke Bickle was at Cincinnati this year.
How about North Texas and FIU? Do we have a winner for that one?
Mean Green.
All right.
Yeah, I agree, Jackson. If Fickle was still at Cincinnati, I'd probably go Cincinnati, but I have to lean Pittsburgh on that one.
Okay, here we go. In Tuscaloosa, Texas,
Hook 'em horns,
Bama.
Hook 'em horns.
Bama's going to win that one.
Hook 'em horns all day.
Really?
Yup.
Jackson's going Bama. Ben says Texas. Texas Buckeye. Texas. Too many Texas votes. You know what? Texas wins. All right. 2-0. Bama falls at home. When's the last time that happened? LSU, right? 2019?
Texas almost beat them last year, and they basically have the same team as last year.
Saban's done.
I wouldn't go that far.
Saban's done.
I would. Saban is
Good
done.
Lord.
Good Lord.
Really?
Really? Saban's done.
Okay. All right.
Great coach
Maybe
in his
that's-
time.
Maybe that's an argument for another night, but it
Well-
wouldn't be much of an argument.
Just an
Well,
opinion.
last time I believe Alabama was 1-1 was during the Sheila era in his first year in 2003. So if that were to happen, it'd be the first time since 03 that Bama starts season at 1-1.
Jacksonville State, Coastal Carolina.
Jacksonville
Jacks.
State.
I'm going Jacksonville State. That powerful Rich Rod
Are
offense.
they 3-0? I think with
Could
a
be.
week 0 win. UConn and Georgia State.
Georgia State.
Georgia State.
Connecticut.
I like what Jim is doing,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna go with the Jim Morris too.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Louisiana Tech should win. Okay, and then we've got
Missouri, Middle Tennessee looks a little dangerous.
Oh, Missouri's gonna win.
Sorry.
But MTSU beat Miami, Florida last year, so don't count them
that's a
out.
good point.
yes, I would agree, Mike. I would agree. We'll still go with Mizzou there. Any other? Oh, we got this good Oregon game against Texas Tech in Lubbock.
Quack, quack, quack.
Ooh.
I think Texas Tech's
Red
gonna
Raiders.
pull off an upset on that one.
That's what I said.
I kind of do too.
Yeah, Lubbock, Texas on Fox. Oh man, that's gonna be scary for the Donald Ducks.
Love it. Love that game. Okay. Oregon falls to 1-1. Okay. And I got to think Oregon's going to be a slight favorite, right?
Yeah,
think so.
they're gonna be like a
3 or 4.
6-7 point favorite. They
Yeah,
could be a
that much?
double digit
Okay.
favorite. Who knows?
Ooh. I can't see that. But I like this next matchup too. UCF going to Boise.
Boise.
I'm thinking it's going to be a victory for Gus Malzahn in Central Florida on that one. But then
Okay.
again, he does have a reputation for winning games that he shouldn't and losing games that he shouldn't. So
Anybody on in the chat on UCF at Boise State? Love this matchup. They played last year, didn't they, Jackson? Was that last year or the year before? They played in Orlando.
oh man.
They,
I'm not sure.
they played very recently, and UCF won a close game.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I just remember that they lost to Navy last year and beat Tulane in the regular season, but lost to Tulane in the AAC title game, and they lost to Duke.
UCF 36-31 in 2021 at home.
Yeah.
First game of the season. Yep.
They
All
did
right.
play Boise to start off week 1 in 2021. That was on Thursday night on ESPN.
I'm going to go with UCF. That's going to drop
Same.
Boise to 0-2. They've got Washington and UCF to start the season. Ouch.
Yeah.
Houston Rice.
Houston.
Houston wins. Okay.
Houston.
Houston gets off the schneid after losing week 1. And then who's our next good game here?
I say
Eastern
Grambling
Michigan.
upsets LSU.
No, that's not going to happen.
If that happens, you might as well throw away a season.
South Florida wins. Arkansas State and Memphis. You guys have an opinion on that?
I could lean Red Wolves on that.
Memphis wins that one. I mean, Butch Jones is not looking so hot at Arkansas State.
True. They go to 0-2. Memphis is 2-0. Nevada wins against Idaho. They're pretty bad, though. The Wolfpack.
It'd be. I think Nevada does win. I think it would be a little different if it was at the Kitty Dome.
Florida wins. Our guy Alex down there has got Grambling against LSU.
LSU's totally overrated, what I think. Totally.
Okay, they would have to be the most overrated team in history
Pretty much.
to
Pretty
lose
much.
that one. Okay. Charlotte at Maryland. Maryland should be winning that game.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Taluya Tagovailoa is going to bring that magic against the Charlotte defense.
Eastern Michigan at Minnesota.
Yes, I'm
Miami?
going Eastern Michigan on the road for an upset. I mean,
Ooh.
Chris Creighton always ever since 2017, he's had Eastern Michigan pulling off an upset.
Okay.
2017
Alex?
they pulled off that upset over Rutgers.
Yeah,
2018
they
they
Pitt.
pulled that upset over Purdue. 2019 over Illinois. Last season over Arizona State on the Pac-12 network. This year I think he continues the magic against Minnesota.
And the Pitt game. They beat Pitt a few years ago. They beat the Pitt team that won the ACC championship in 2021.
That
Minnesota's overrated. Fleck at his time.
All right. Alex letting us know everybody who's overrated. All right.
Overrated.
Including PJ Fleck, who falls to 1-1. Okay, we're selecting an upset there, although we would not. Well, Minnesota could be in the top 25, maybe if they beat Nebraska, probably still not. Okay, Mississippi State, of course, won at Arizona last year. We've got the return trip by the Cats. Bear down.
I like this game. I'm really high on Arizona. They have a lot of potential, in my opinion. They've been looking really good in camp overall. But of course, that is just training camp. I'm going to go with Arizona in this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Will Rogers and the Cowbells at Mississippi State at home.
Yeah, I don't see Mississippi State losing this game myself. I would be a bit surprised. Losing at home. Yeah, just so many better athletes on the field. Rutgers Temple. That's a rock fight.
Yeah.
Temple.
Somehow I say Temple.
Rutgers.
Mike's got another upset. I'm going to have to mark down Rutgers on that one. Let's get to our next good game. We've got Wisconsin and Washington State.
Whiskey.
Go Cougs.
We know what happened last year.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a good one. I'm probably going to say Wisconsin in a tight 28-24 victory.
I gotcha. Okay. UCLA at San Diego State. That could be a close one.
Yes.
And,
UCLA.
CLA. Okay.
Yeah. Funny thing is, that's going to be on CBS.
Look at that. Yes. Air Force Sam Houston. Air Force going to be good again this year?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're beating Sam Houston.
All right. Got Air Force winning again. Where's our next good game? We got TCU winning. We got Louisiana Monroe, New Mexico, Utah State will just give automatic wins. Florida State, a little downer after the LSU game. Southern Miss got a chance?
nah.
No chance. Okay.
I think either Auburn, Cal, or Oklahoma State, Arizona State would be the next good one.
What's that, Mike?
I said the next good one probably either going to be Auburn, Cal, or Arizona State, Oklahoma State.
Auburn, Cal. Any shot for Jeff Tedford and the boys?
No.
No, I don't think old Wilcott's going to win that one.
I can see the hype behind the Golden Bears. And I think Auburn is still.
What hype would that be?
I know, right? It's like I don't
What
see
hype is
any
that,
hype for
Mike?
Cal.
So there's a lot of people on the West Coast that believe Cal could get to 6-6.
A lot of people? I don't think there's a lot of people on the West Coast thinking anything about football. Talking about like 8 people?
I'm going to go with Cal on this one.
Oh boy. I'll go for Cal and rugby because they're awesome in rugby.
Yeah, who's playing?
Oh,
who's showing
man.
this game? Oh, we got an ESPN game. Okay, very nice. That would be a big win for Cal.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun Pac-12 after dark game for sure.
All right. Oklahoma State at Arizona State. Of course, they got together last year, and Oklahoma State won by 17. And now the return trip.
Gundy brings
Well,
it.
Oklahoma State's gonna smack them around, but on the bright side,
Yep.
it's gonna make for a fun Big 12 conference game next season.
Yes.
I actually think the Sun Devils can pull this off. Jaden Rashada has been looking really good in camp.
Okay.
We've got reports from camp via Mike on Jaden Rashada. Good stuff. All right. I gotta say, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, but I would not be shocked in any way. Who's showing that game? Nobody's showing that game. What's going on there?
Well, it's gonna be on Fox Sports 1.
Oh, it's not showing us that on the. And then Stanford at USC. Trojans roll.
Could that be an upset?
Man, I would like
know
to
them
think
trees.
so, but I just really don't. Hawaii gets a win.
Not good enough.
All right. Did we find upsets? I lost track. Did we find upsets this week?
Not huge.
Minnesota loses.
Troy over Kansas State. That's
right. Kansas State loses. And you had another one there, Jackson. Oh, we've got Oklahoma losing.
No. Oklahoma. Oh, okay.
Nope. Tulane over Ole Miss, a good upset.
Yeah, so we got 4 upsets. All right, week 3. Here we go, folks. Bethune-Cookman in Miami. Forget it. Navy, Memphis.
Ooh.
Navy.
Memphis.
That's a Memphis win.
Okay, we got a Memphis win. Mike picks more upsets than anybody on the planet.
Yeah.
Loves the upsets. Okay, little Thursday night ESPN game there. Navy and Memphis. Love it. Okay, Friday night. All right, we got a little ACC action on a Friday night on Fox. That's kind of unusual. Fox and ACC game. Interesting. Well, it's not an ACC game. It looks like it's an old ACC game. Virginia at Maryland.
Taulia is bringing that magic against Virginia.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got to agree. Virginia goes to 0-3. Army at UTSA.
Well, I could see Army pulling off that upset. I mean, UTSA is going to think a little more about Tennessee, but Army's going to tell them, not so fast.
Sounds like
Correct.
We've got a few Army votes there. Okay, Alex likes Army. Okay, Army goes to 3-0.
I wonder if UTSA is going to be in the top 25 because, I mean, they look like they are. I mean, I was looking at a few preseason magazines. They got UTSA in the top 25, so maybe that could count as a top. That could count.
I don't know. I feel like the Roadrunners could get it done. It is at home, and they still have most of their depth from last year.
All right, I have no idea where I put you. There they are, 2-1. Okay, we gave Army the win against UTSA. Utah State at Air Force, CBS Sportsnet.
Air Force,
everybody. Okay. Air Force over Utah State. I've lost track of Utah State. I don't know what we have them going. They're like 0-3 at this point. I don't know. 1-2 probably. Okay, on to Saturday. Liberty Buffalo. Man, I would like to be able to bypass these lousy games and just have it automatically mark it down. You guys work on Penn State, Illinois, and Louisville, Indiana for me.
Penn State knocks them out.
Oh, Penn State, Illinois is looking like an overtime matchup, but Drew Allar gets it done against Illinois.
Yeah, I just hope that Penn State, Illinois does not look like the cruddy game we had a couple years ago with the multiple overtime, 20-8.
You didn't like that?
I don't know. It's too low scoring for my liking, but I do like defense.
I don't see anything wrong with a low-scoring game. Those games are awesome.
Defense.
Just as awesome as the high-scoring games.
I'm more of an offense guy, but I do give the defensive side of the ball their props.
Okay. All right. Louisville, Indiana. I think that
Louisville.
game's in Indianapolis, I believe.
It is.
Louisville.
I hate that
Yeah,
that game's getting a lot of disrespect. I wish they were on at least Fox Sports 1.
Well, I mean, I don't think it is. I mean, you're playing on the quote unquote home team conference network. It's a neutral site game randomly in week 3.
The BTN TV ratings are just as good as FS1.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
roughly the same. Okay, LSU, Mississippi State.
LSU.
Mississippi.
LSU.
Mississippi.
Oh, Alex is
Mississippi.
down on LSU.
Down on you. What's next?
Kansas State.
Kansas State. Ooh, Kansas State and Mizzou. Oh boy.
Oh, Kansas
say
State's
Mizzou.
going to rebound.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
Kansas State in this one. K-State bounces back, goes to 2-1. Georgia Southern, Wisconsin. I would hope Wisconsin's going to win that game. Georgia Southern beat Scott Frost last year, but he's not around anymore. Florida State should win. Wake should
Obviously.
win, right? Wake and FSU win. Baylor wins. How about this Iowa State Ohio game?
Could that be Ohio?
That could be an Ohio victory. I mean, again, Iowa's got a pretty good quarterback in Rourke, so that could be one of those group of 5 Power 5 upsets right there.
Give it to them. OU with the upset at home against the Cyclones. All right. Kent. They finally get a win. North Dakota at Boise. Boise should get a win. They get their first win. Utah gets a win. They get their first win. NC State gets a win. UMass and Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan's like our team of the year so far. What do we have them beating Minnesota and somebody else?
FCS opponent, I'm sure.
I think it's Michigan.
Oh,
that's
they got the University of Howard.
Temple and Ball State win. How about Notre Dame and Central Michigan? Any chance there?
This is
Notre Dame's winning. Georgia's obviously winning against South Carolina.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Minnesota
Duke wins.
Minnesota could pull off a road upset, but
yes, they could. They could. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Let's go to the chat on this one. Minnesota, North Carolina. I think this is going to be a heck of a game.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, what do we like? Minnesota, North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Gophers.
Oh, we got a lot of Gophers love on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pull the trigger with all of you. Minnesota wins against North Carolina. Now, that will be an upset, but I don't know that North Carolina is going to be in the top 25 if they lose that South Carolina game at that point.
I think Vodtech messes with Rutgers.
Whoa. Do we actually have North Carolina losing to South Carolina, App State, and Minnesota? They're going to be 0-3?
Wow.
It's scary.
Wow. That's scary. Yeah.
It's a scary first 3 weeks. And we're not even talking about how they're going to play at Pittsburgh in week 4.
Yikes.
That's a scary September. Well,
Poor
North
Brown.
Carolina's defense is a disaster. I mean, Drake May can only do so much.
All right. Virginia Tech at Rutgers.
Rutgers.
I think Virginia Tech takes it to them. Something tells me.
Okay.
You never know. Well, Bama, is it Bama? Oh boy,
Bama,
and
South Florida. Bama's going on the road to South Florida. That's when does that kind of game ever happen? When is Bama?
I mean, if we were talking about South Florida from 07 or
Yeah.
08, okay. But South Florida has just been
Well, yeah,
horrible the
this
last
game's not
game.
worth talking about. I'm just saying, when has Bama ever traveled somewhere like that? I don't know that that's ever happened.
Not outside of the SEC. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're going to be traveling to future non-con games, but I think
Not
this is
to
like the
South
whole
Florida. That's my point. They have. I
right.
cannot think if anybody in the chat can find a time when Alabama's ever gone to a Group of 5 stadium. They're going there because it's in Florida for recruiting purposes. It's the only reason they're going.
Oh, yeah.
All right, UConn and FIU.
Connecticut.
Okay, UConn wins. Oregon State, San Diego State. That's an FS1 game.
Beavs.
Beavs win. Okay.
Oh, yeah. The Beavs.
Ooh, this is a night. Well, Oklahoma going to Tulsa. Okay.
I say Oklahoma.
Oklahoma bounces back.
App State. Over East Carolina.
Yeah, App State and East Carolina. That's a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to win that one?
App State, definitely.
All right. All right, we're going to switch somebody out here. We got another caller coming on board. So do I randomly take the hit for somebody here?
Can I give my, if I'm the guy that goes, can I give my one estimation of how our offense will be good this year?
Sure.
Okay. I hope that Trev and Mine are out in the flat with screens and wheel routes, Dal and Chipper in the middle, running back, and then Brown and Keenholtz at QB, and throw in slants and posts just 10-5 yards out with occasional bomb to our speedsters like Ballard, and our offense will be unstoppable.
Okay. I didn't hear anything there about an offensive line.
Well, I really think, I don't know, just watching the practices, I think Fry's pulled it off, especially with Fry at right and Simmons at left. I don't know. I think we'll be okay. That's my feeling.
I do think that your boys there, Alex, are the only team. I think that there are only 4 or 5 teams that can win a national championship, and they're one of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Your boys too. Yeah. The Buckeyes.
My boys too.
All right. Absolutely.
Okay. Alex has volunteered to bow out here.
No, I didn't volunteer. I said, if I'm the guy, I want to do this. This is fun.
Okay.
Can you
Jackson was the first one on board. Jackson, we will bid adieu for tonight.
I love you, Jackson. You're awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for being here, Jackson.
Thank you for having me on.
Have a good night. Always.
You too.
All right, let's keep it moving. We got for as much as I hate the panel deal. I never do this. Don't like it, but for this we make exceptions. So we got David on board here.
I was going to say, is there just way too much Ohio State fandom here present right now? Is that
yeah, there actually is.
Yeah. I was hoping the Alabama fan was going to stay. I was going to say Quinn Ewers' Heisman campaign starts in Tuscaloosa week 1. Sark, comes
week
back
2.
and beats Nick Saban. Boy, there's a lot of storylines in that game, by the way. That Texas-Alabama game.
You like Texas? Okay.
I think
I do too.
I think Texas can pull that out. I just wonder what Buckner or Milroe is going to look like at quarterback. That's what I'm wondering. I mean,
David. Yeah. Don't be surprised if neither one of them starts.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm interested to see what a Tommy Rees offense looks like in Alabama.
Just don't be surprised if Ty Simpson is the starting quarterback at Alabama.
Okay. Is that what your Alabama sources are telling you, Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Including Greg McElroy, not necessarily one of my sources.
Okay.
Wow.
But the sources there at practice as well. Yeah, a couple guys that we know.
By the way, can I add top 5 guests on the Mark Rogers show? Right after Klatt would be Greg McElroy would be an interesting guest on the Mark Rogers show.
Yeah, he's great.
I actually think he's pretty solid.
Yo, I think he's one of the very best. Actually, he might be my favorite.
Really?
Yes, college football analyst.
He's very solid. I will say that he's a better, much like Herb Street. He might be a better announcer than he is a quarterback.
I very much enjoyed having a conversation with Todd Blackledge at Big Ten Media Days. He has always been one of my favorites as well.
By the way, I just want to say the better Penn State offenses you've ever thought of, Mark, always have the quarterback running back dynamic. Blackledge Warner in the 80s, Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter in the 90s, and most recently the McSorley Saquon Barkley combination. Is Drew Aller, Singleton, and Katron Allen that combination for Penn State 2023?
Not the Clifford Barkley or the Clifford Singleton.
Listen, you need to put away the Sean Clifford fan club t-shirts, Mark. I mean, I know that you like the Van Wilder of college football that is Sean Clifford, but I mean, come on. I mean,
Sean Clifford won a Rose Bowl and Sean Clifford won a Cotton Bowl. 2 New Year's 6 wins for Sean Clifford.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of guys out there that can say that.
He will have a wonderful XFL career, Mark.
Yeah, I'm not predicting NFL stardom. Just telling you what he accomplished in college.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he is getting his pension right now, so I do wish him well.
What are the odds that Drew Aller will win more New Year's 6 games than Sean Clifford?
Well, I wonder if Aller will be there all 4 years or 50 years the way that Clifford was. I'm kidding. That was a joke. That was a cheap shot at Sean Clifford.
What are the odds that Drew Aller will win more New Year's 6 games than Sean Clifford? I think it's rather low.
I think there's a better chance that Drew Aller gets that team to the playoff than Sean Clifford does.
Well, absolutely there is, because Sean Clifford can't get the team to the playoff now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, what I'm saying is, you give me a 3-year sample size with Drew Aller and a 50-year sample size with Sean Clifford, I'm saying Aller has a better record than Sean Clifford.
Okay. All right. Well, you got to toss out 2020. They only played a handful of games. So Clifford only had 19, 20, and he only had 19, 21, 22. He had 3 full seasons.
Okay. I mean, I think that I think Penn State's an interesting team this year. I mean, a lot of people are saying this could be the best Franklin team, but those McSorley Barkley teams, when you look back on it, were really good. By the way, just got to say that. I mean, it took the greatest game of JT Barrett's life to pull that game out in 2017. Or that might have been a playoff team that year.
With that win, it most likely would have been.
Yeah. I mean,
they would have been playing in the Big Ten championship game.
That's some NFL guys. I mean, Gesicki at tight end. They had the one receiver at Tampa Bay that's pretty good. That was with Brady.
Godwin. Chris Godwin.
Right. Yeah. Barkley, McSorley. They had some talent on that team.
All right, Dave, we are predicting every game in college football.
Yeah, can I say one game that's interesting to me, and we'll kind of have a sense of the trajectory of the season for this team?
Yes.
Is that Wisconsin at Washington State. If Wisconsin goes there and really handles business, I think that bodes well for them going forward. If they go there and don't look good, I really wonder if their season could go the other way.
Huh.
What are your thoughts on that? You think that's maybe too much of a reach early in the season?
I don't think it's a reach. I don't necessarily see it that way, but I think that's a reasonable thought. That's what happens many times, especially when it's a first-year head coach trying to implement new offense, new quarterback, new coordinator, all of that they need They need some momentum. They need to prove it. Yeah. I don't necessarily think that teams' psyches are typically, especially a Luke Fickell team, since he's been as successful as he has, are that fragile psychologically.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting. I think I'm picking Wisconsin to win that side of the division. I think Iowa's going to be better, but I still have Iowa between 8-4 and 9-3, and I think because the game's at Madison this year, I think Wisconsin could win that game, and that could be like the de facto decider of that side of the division, title, to get the Indy game.
Definitely,
in my view. By the way, I think looking at the schedule, I think Washington's is absolutely boat races Sparty.
You would think
Sparty, yes.
so, but I don't know. Sometimes these type of matchups seem that easy, and they don't turn out that way.
Michael Penix is going to do some business. I mean, business against that defense.
Again, you would think so. And I get what you're saying there, and we will mark this down as a Washington win over Michigan State. But don't be surprised. So what do we have here? We've got we've kind of lost track of where we are. I am like bitterly sorry that I started this. This is a pain in the rear end to keep track of. Like I got like a sheet of paper here that's just like a mess. I got a couple of these. We're working on like I've got like 3 of these. That's just
wow.
Yeah, just
that's Chinese.
Yeah. Mark, you've got like a million legal pads there or something. I don't know. You got a lot going on there, my friend.
Yeah. All those, and that's just the beginning of it. We got these over here. Absolutely.
Did you guys start from the top with that Oklahoma game? I think Oklahoma wins that game handily. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what second-year Venables looks like. Are you seeing a lot of people pick Oklahoma to win the conference this year?
Not to win the conference, but to go to the conference championship game.
Okay. I mean, I'm leaning Texas. I'm just calling it. I'm calling my shot early. I think Texas wins the Big 12 this year. I think yours has a really good year, and I think Texas wins the Big 12. I'm calling my early prediction.
Same.
Okay. People are suggesting I go to a spreadsheet with 133 teams and 15 weeks and 12 games. No, thank you.
I will say the Western Kentucky quarterback will cause their passing game could cause Ohio State's defense some issue.
Dave,
I mean, Ohio State's going to score a boatload of points.
Not.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying I would be surprised by that, but
the Buckeyes will win that game somewhere in the neighborhood of like 49-24.
That's it, huh?
I mean, you think that line's what do you think that line's at, though?
I would think that line, if Ohio State does what they're supposed to do the first couple of weeks of the season, let's say they beat Indiana by 30 and they beat whoever, Youngstown State, by 55, they're going to be a 30 or 32 point favorite.
First half of the Indiana game, by the way, could be somewhat interesting. They'll pull away in that game and win by 3 or 4 touchdowns, but the first half could be close against Indiana. I just want to add that, especially breaking in the new line and the new quarterback. I could see that being like 17-14 at halftime.
Wow.
Well, new offensive line. I mean, at Indiana's had some a little bit of tricky in the past. Remember the start of the 2017 season? It took a while.
I knew you were going to go there. Yes.
Get going.
Knew you were going to go there. It was a tie game in the third quarter, I think.
Yeah. Campbell took that pass down the sideline and just like ran past everybody.
Cal gets a win. We got Washington over Michigan State. UCLA gets a win. Washington State gets a win.
Samford at Auburn. Jeez, come on. Talk about a school going to get a check.
UCF wins.
Dude, Tennessee at Florida. Let's go.
You're not going to be tuned in for that one, huh, Dave?
What's that?
You're not going to be tuned in for that Auburn game. Get your
that
ESPN Plus
That
subscription.
Auburn-Sanford tilt will not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll pass on that one. Tennessee, Florida. Bring back the '90s. By the way, hello, Danny Werfel and Peyton Manning.
That's it.
Why'd Peyton Manning come back to college to be MVP of the Citrus Bowl?
All right, who wins that game?
I think Tennessee wins this year. I've got Tennessee. What's their over under win total, by the way, this year, Mark? Do you know?
I think it's 9.5.
I take that under. I think Tennessee loses Hooker, loses Tillman, loses Hyatt, loses a lot of offense out the door. I think they're under this year, Mark. I don't think the legend that is Joe Milton comes in there and it does anything close to what Hendon Hooker did last year.
If he wins the job. If he wins the job over the true freshman whose name nobody can pronounce, including me. It's got like 18 vowels. I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce it because I couldn't even begin to pronounce it now. But
I just think, could you see that drop off there though, Mark, with Tennessee?
Sure, I could, because their defense was awful last year, and they've devoted recruiting and improved in terms of recruiting, but those guys aren't going to be on the field. So yes, I could see a drop off.
I just think that 9.5 is a high win total too in the SEC. I just think there's a little bit of a drop back. I mean, it's a lot of production gone.
We're going to, I believe, make it through this week in the schedule, and then we're going to I just am not keeping track of any more games. That's all there is to it. What we need too is maybe I'll go grab our group of 5 experts, Steve Helwick from SB Nation. If you guys have ever seen him on here, he is a whiz at G5 football. Need to get him on here. So like North Texas and Louisiana Tech, he would be telling us who, that he would be giving us depth charts, 3 deep on the Louisiana Tech offensive line. So
I do think that Nebraska handles Northern Illinois at home as one of their 6 wins this year. I think Rule gets them to a bowl game his first year.
Wow.
What do you think? 6 and 6?
Nebraska, who are they playing? Northern Illinois gets a win. Okay, yeah, I got that. All right, yes. I have not made a final selection, of course, on Nebraska, but yeah, I would say right now 6 and 6. Vandy goes to 4-0.
Gosh, Vandy could go to 4-0.
I can find them here. Who else do we have on here? We got to wade through all this mess to get to some prominent games. Cincinnati wins. South Alabama could pull off an upset at Oklahoma State. I will call that one right now.
Are they saying this is not one of Mike Gundy's better teams this year?
No. The media, I think, had them 10th or 11th in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
From what I'm hearing, this is not supposed to be one of the better Gundy teams.
Where's our next good game? Texas Tech wins, UAB wins, SMU wins. Our next decent game is BYU at Arkansas.
See, everybody was on Arkansas last year. I wonder if they're the same football. You remember everybody was really high on Arkansas to start the season last year?
Yeah, I picked them 8-4. They went 6 and 6. I believe I picked them 8-4.
Yeah, they started off preseason, top 15?
I don't recall exactly where they started. They were ranked. Now, I will say a sneaky under the radar game right there is Troy and where is it? James Madison at Troy. Sneaky good game. So we give Arkansas a win there against BYU.
I think Arkansas wins that game at home. Although I wonder how good of a team they're going to be this year compared to kind of previous teams. TCU at Houston could be. I still wonder if TCU is, if there's going to be a big drop off with TCU this year.
Probably.
I think most likely, without looking at their schedule, we're looking at 8-4.
Yeah, and haven't they been in some preseason top 20s?
Yeah, I was surprised they were number
Yeah.
16 in the coaches poll.
Right. Yeah, that was I saw that they were somewhere in the teens, I thought, and I was like, that's a little bit too high.
It's like ranking Clemson that high. Crazy.
Well, yeah, I this is an interesting year for Clemson. I just have to say, the conference is still very much winnable, but everybody seems to be on Florida State this year.
Right.
By the way, you guys already did Florida State LSU, right?
We did. LSU wins.
Okay.
According to me and many in the chat. I don't believe Alex was on board with that one.
By the way,
I'm just
Colin
saying.
Cowherd has LSU winning the national championship. I just want to say that. I saw his interview with Klatt this week.
I was
He's a
driving to church today, and all that was rummaging around in my mind in terms of I'm going to have to be on the spot here to make a prediction in the next 10 days or so. And actually, I had that same I didn't know about Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
But I had that same thought.
Yeah, he's got his
same thought.
He's got his two favorite coaches playing for the national championship, Jim Harbaugh and Brian Kelly playing for the national title.
A Michigan LSU national championship game.
He's being paid off.
He's always been a fan of both coaches. To be fair, he's been a defender of Kelly for years and a defender of Harbaugh for years.
If he was truly a company man, he would have two Big 10 or Big 12 teams with Fox in the championship. So
just want to say about that Florida State LSU game, I think it's more critical for Florida State to win that than LSU. What do you think, Mark?
Yes. Florida State's got to have a better record out of the ACC to get to the playoff. Sure. Absolutely. We've got no other good games here. TCU at Houston would be the lone competitive game there. What do we like there?
I mean, I think TCU still wins that game. I mean, I still think TCU gets to an 8-4, maybe 9-3 this year. Colorado, that's going to be an interesting game. That Colorado State Colorado game, the Deion Sanders era.
Yes, Colorado State. Colorado's got a pretty gruesome non-conference schedule with Nebraska, TCU included in that as well. Arizona State should be an underdog against Fresno State.
Mm-hmm. They were talking on the Pac-12 talk how why Arizona State has never, kind of reached a zenith as a program or gotten better as a program. I always thought that the Herm Edwards hire was kind of interesting, and I had my doubts on whether it would work.
Yeah, ultimately did not work out.
No.
Although there were some signs of hope early.
Good recruiting base in Arizona. Got some talent out there. Surprised that, the right coach couldn't turn that program into a 9-3 type of football team, maybe 10-2 in a good year.
All right. I believe my bookkeeping is about 58% accurate. Okay, that's about what I can promise for the first 3 weeks of the season. There we go.
You going to do your picks this year? Are you going to bring back Steve Merrill, Mark? You going to do them as well?
Yes. So, yes, I've talked to Steve Merrill a little bit. We hope to get him back for that under the radar selection each and every week. David, you realize that in 14 selections, what his record was last season against the spread, correct?
I did not. I actually followed more Mark Rogers picks than Steve Merrill picks.
So he just makes the one selection. So I cannot account for his previous seasons. I know that you had said that they may have been fairly marginal. I don't know because I didn't keep track. Last year, we kept track of his exclusive, under the radar, exclusive to us at the Voice of College Football selection each week. He went 13-1 against the spread.
Wow. Take me to Vegas.
13. See, all of you missed out on that. You'll never get it back. 13-1 against the spread. I cannot guarantee that again for sure. And I don't think he would guarantee it in any such way.
How was your overall record last year, Mark? Was it decent?
That's a great question. I will look that up and we'll get that out here in the next week or so.
Good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to get it out there, Mark.
It's right there on Patreon. Let's see. Shoot, I can tell you here in a minute. What in the world was that? Meanwhile, we've got our Penn State Live show starting simultaneously here on the main channel. So everybody lock it in. We've got our guy Tim Aiden and our Black Shoe Diaries folks starting the Penn State. They're going to do a big Penn State preview, season preview.
How's that Big 12 channel going, Mark? Sorry.
We just launched the Big 12 channel.
Are you going to hit the 4th week next time? Next time we come online or on air?
Yes. Especially if I can get some type of accountant standing by. But yes.
I wanted us to hit Notre Dame in this one, but should we wait till next time?
Yes. I'm looking for my selections here.
Dave, what's your thought on Notre Dame really quickly?
I'm interested to see the first 3 weeks. I still think Ohio State can win that game by 2 scores. But
really?
Yeah, I think it's one of those games where, they could kind of like last year, they maybe put it away late, but I definitely could see it being a good game for 3 to 3.5 quarters. I think Hartman's clearly an upgrade over Buckner at quarterback last year. And, Notre Dame, usually has good offensive line play, but I'm just wondering where the skill is at Notre Dame. Styles transferred into Ohio State. Mara's gone at tight end. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. He had pretty good wide receivers at Wake Forest last year, didn't Hartman?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's working with anywhere close to that type of level at Notre Dame. So that's what's going to be interesting to me.
The spring game scared me.
What's that again?
Notre Dame's spring game scared me. I was floored. They were so good in the spring game, Notre Dame. So I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, I think they're going to be good. I think Notre Dame is going to be better this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they went 10-2, but I think the Buckeyes can go in and win that game somewhere into like a 28-17, 27-17 kind of type game. Maybe 31-21, something like that.
Reach it. Awesome.
I could see that. It was closer than I thought last year. I actually thought Ohio State was going to win that game fairly handily, but, that was the game where JSN's hamstring went to, unfortunately. And, yeah. But defense looked good in that game last year, and they ran the ball towards the end of that game, which I liked. But, we're going to have to see how that works out.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks for stopping by.
A pleasure, Mark. Go Bucks. Good to see you, Alex.
Getting us through 3 weeks of the season. Thank you, David.
Take care.
Alex, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, folks, please subscribe to our SEC channel, and know the channel link is not in the description section because I have not had time to put it in the description section yet. I will throw it in the chat and we will get it in the description section. So we've launched a Big 12 channel. We've launched an SEC channel for good reason. And we've had a number of channel changes. So check out the network update video to get updated on everything that we've got going. One other note here before we say goodbye for the night, and that's, I wish I had a banner for it, but we're going to be here live at noon tomorrow. The AP poll comes out at noon. So we are going to go live at noon to respond to the AP poll. And much like we do with the predictions, knowing that there are going to be 4 to 5 top 25 upsets every week, same thing with the AP poll. When the AP poll comes out, you know what we're going to do? We're going to say about 8 or 9 of these teams are not finishing in the top 25. So who are those teams that are not going to finish in the AP top 25? But it's going to be released Monday at noon Eastern time, and we're going to be here live with you at noon Eastern time. Can't type and talk at the same time. So there it is. Associated Pro preseason coming out on Monday, noon Eastern time. So we will be here to respond and let you know who's not going to finish in the AP preseason poll. I have taken some notes on Stanford and Cal and a possible entry to the ACC. So that video is forthcoming very soon right here at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate everyone being here. Want to make sure that we did not miss any super chats. I believe I did. Here we go. Erica, thank you so much for being here. Anyone choosing the Cyclones, meaning against the Hawkeyes, is crazy. They lost starters, including their quarterback, because of betting, and the P-Trash era is over. Over. Anyway, yes, Erica, thank you so much for the contribution. And Erica thinks it's insane for anyone choosing Iowa State, even though they did win the game, and the game is in Ames this year. Iowa's a much better football team. Yes. Bizzer. I think we already read this one. Thank you for that. And Irvin again. Irvin, to get the link to the Discord, hit me up at MarkRogersTV at Gmail, because I don't think there's any other way for me to get that to you. But we would like for you to be involved in Discord if you so choose. So thank you so much for that, Urban. That's very kind of you. Appreciate that. It's great to have more people on board here at the Voice of College Football. Justin, Mark does not get to sleep, so let's help him out with some likes and subs. Everyone punch that thing. Thank you for that, Justin. Justin hosting our Nebraska postgame show. And we appreciate Justin jumping on board and doing yeoman's work already for our Nebraska channel. And join Justin starting on Thursday night, August 31st, of course, for the big Nebraska postgame show on the Nebraska channel. This Friday, we are going to have as many postgame show hosts as we can corral on a late night show on Friday. So be looking out for that, but don't want to throw too much at you. So just know that we will be here at noon Eastern time on Monday for the AP preseason poll release. And also know that Trojan Conquest Live is starting at 9 Eastern, and the Penn State Live show should be on right now. Let's give it a look. It should be on right now. Yes, it is on live right now. So keep it right here. Just stay right here. You can check out the Penn State preseason show with Tim and Patrick, and keep it locked in here at the Voice of College Football. Thank you so much for all that you do in helping support what we do here at the Voice of College Football. We'll see you Monday at noon Eastern.